Hello Primary 7s. Today we are looking at consolidation of measurement, in particular length and weight. First of all, you can practice length. Here is a snippet taken from the textbook page that we've provided for you today. To begin with, you're asked to measure the length of lines, so you're going to have a ruler ready, and you're going to have to make sure you're really accurate with your measuring. Starting at the 0, being as accurate as you can, making sure that you're looking as close to the line as possible and trying to match up whether it's a millimetre or a centimetre, however long your line is. If you look at question 4 there, it's asking you to change between units of measurement, and we're just about to learn about that in a second. First of all, here's just a little reminder of how to use a ruler effectively, so you can have a read of that and make sure that you're using it properly before you start. Converting between units of length. When you're going from smaller numbers to bigger numbers, for example, millimetres to centimetres, you are dividing. So for millimetres to centimetres, you would be dividing by 10. From centimetres to metres, you would divide by 100. And for metres to kilometres, you would divide by 1,000. When you're going from bigger down to smaller, for example, centimetres to millimetres, you multiply. So for that example, you multiply by 10. From metres to centimetres, you multiply by 100. And for kilometres to metres, you multiply by 1,000. Let's go through some examples just to go over that a bit more detail. How many millimetres are in 15 centimetres? You take your 15 centimetres, you multiply it by 10, because you're going from centimetres to millimetres, and your answer is of course 150 millimetres. Next one, what is 250 centimetres in metres? You take your 250 centimetres and this time you divide. So we're dividing by 100 because we're going from centimetres to metres. And your answer is 2.5 metres. Number 3, how many millimetres are in 55 centimetres? Again, you take your centimetres, so 55 centimetres, times it by 10 to give you 550 millimetres. Always remember to have your units of measurement in your answer as well, by the way. Lastly, on this page, what is 1,250 metres in kilometres? So we take our 1,250, we divide it by 1,000, which leaves us with 1.25 kilometres. Your second option is to practice weight. So at the beginning of this page, you've got to put fruit in order, so quite simplistic, starting with the lightest item up to the heaviest item. Next is then asking you to change between units of weight. So question 23 says change from kilograms to grams. And question 24 says change these weights to kilograms. So this time it's in grams and you've got to make them kilograms. Question 25 is a worded question. So you've got to read the question, identify the numbers you need, work out what you've got to do and find the solution. So we're about to go over some of those examples so that you have some idea of what to do for those questions. Converting between units of weight. From a small to a big, you're dividing, and from big to small, you're multiplying. So milligrams to centigrams, you would divide the number by 10. From centigrams to grams, you would divide the number by 100. And for grams to kilograms, you would divide by 1,000. Going from big to small, you'd have centigrams to milligrams multiplied by 10. Grams to centigrams, multiply by 100, and kilograms to grams, multiply by 1,000. So again, let's go over a few examples just so that you know what you're doing. First question asks you how many milligrams are in 17 centigrams. So we multiply 17 centigrams by 10, and we have 170 milligrams. Number 2, what is 430 centigrams in grams? So we're going from small to big, so we divide by 100, and our answer is 4.3 grams. How many grams in 32 kilograms? So we're starting with kilos, kilograms, and we want to go to grams. So big to small, which means we multiply by 1,000, and our answer is of course 32,000 grams. And last one here, what is 2,500 grams in kilograms? So we're going from grams to kilos, so from small to big, which means we divide. So it's 2,500 divided by 1,000, which gives us 2.5 kilograms. Lastly, we have an example here of a worded problem. So first of all, I'm going to read out the question and then I'm going to go over how to find the answer. So the question says, John rode 2 kilometres on his bike. His sister Sally rode 3,000 metres on her bike. Who rode the farthest and how much farther did they ride? Give your answers in kilometres. So firstly, we need to convert both distances, so the 2 kilometres and the 3,000 metres, to the same unit of measurement. So you can decide whether you choose to convert them both to kilometres or both to metres. Because the question asks you for your answer in kilometres, I would recommend doing kilometres, but it's up to yourself. So to convert from kilometres to metres, you are multiplying by 1,000. 2 kilometres is 2,000 metres. And to go from metres to kilometres, we divide by 1,000. So 3,000 divided by 1,000 is 3 kilometres. So now we're actually able to answer the first part of the question. Who rode the farthest? It is of course Sally. Sally rode 3 kilometres, John only rode 2 kilometres. Last part we need to do, we need to work out how much further she had rode than John. So for this, we need to use subtraction. So you can either stick to your metres or your kilometres. Again, because the question asked for kilometres, I would tend to stick to kilometres. But you could do 3,000 metres take away 2,000 metres, or 3 kilometres take away 2 kilometres. Either way, you found your answer. So how much further did they ride? Your answer is Sally rode 1 kilometre further than John. So hopefully that's explained how we would manage to find an answer. So you're converting first of all, and then subtracting. So you need to make sure you're reading the question carefully, maybe highlighting the important parts, and then taking your time to work out what the answer actually is. Always with a worded question, you have to answer the question in words as well. So as you can see, my yellow highlighted sentences, I've answered the question with words.